Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. We are now on to January. We just finished December. We're talking about the Finland's Men in White. And we're going on to January now. It kind of skips ahead quite a bit, it looks like. Yeah, all the way to January 1st. Or 21st. Not 20. Yeah, not 1st. January 21st. So, but it says the last moments of a British warship. It says loss of the HMS Greenville. On January 21st, HMS Destroyer Greenville was sunk by mine or torpedo in the North Sea. There was no time to lower the boats, but other ships in the vicinity were able to rescue most of the crew. Although 8 men were killed by the explosion, and 73 were reported missing and presumed dead, these two pictures show top, the Greenville, just before she took her final plunge. Below, a dramatic photograph of A.B. Broomfield, the last man to leave the ship, clinging to a porthole in... Oh, 1 second. I'll try to get that back. There we go. In the bows. Oh, man, it doesn't want to... There we go. The Greenville, a vessel of 1,485 tons, had completed... had a complement of 175 officers and men. And here we see up top, Greenville making its final plunge. And where is he? At the very bottom here, that's the last guy to leave it. Lucky him. At least he got to go home. Artillery duel on the Western Front. January 1940. Big German gun in action. Although during the first few months of the war, there was no large-scale activity on the Western Front, there were occasional artillery outbursts on both sides, designed to draw the enemy fire and thereby give some indication of the artillery strength of the forces in the opposite sector. The Germans used a big number of guns on railway mountings, such as that seen firing in the picture above. Their advantage was that they could move rapidly from one sector to another. Most of the fighting at this period took place in the Saar-Moselle region, southeast of Luxembourg border. Here we see one of those railway guns. Railway guns, I know the Germans had a really large one at one point during the war. I don't think they used it very often, but that thing was menacing looking. It was a big freaking gun, and so these railway guns were used quite a bit. And yeah, having the mobility of them was great. I think the only thing that I would be questioning on is... Wouldn't they have shot still where it was because of, well, the rails? Once the rails are destroyed, they have to rebuild those. And yeah, they can do it quickly, but, you know, it's still resources that they have to burn repairing those. Home from the Battle of the Plate. February 15th, 1940. Shell-scarred Exeter comes home. Bearing the scars of her encounter with the German pocket battleship Admiral Graf Spee, see pages 39 to 43, which we just covered in a previous video, of the River Plate, HMS Exeter steamed into Plymouth, her home port, on February 15th. She thus disproved the lie circulating wildly by the Nazi propaganda department, that she had been so badly damaged that she had run aground to save her from sinking. The damage on her sides and funnels, oh my bad, although patched up and painted over, can be clearly seen. Yeah, it took quite the hammering there, but yeah, the Nono Germans may have said one thing, but it was wrong. And then the Anzacs come to the desert. February 12th, 1940. It says Anzacs in the Near East. On February 12th, the first contingent of Australian and New Zealand troops arrived at Suez to take up their stations for the defense of Palestine, Egypt, and the Near East, and were welcomed by Anthony Eden, at the time Secretary of State for the Dominions. The model town seen above, with its neatly planted rows of tents and barracks, was erected by native labor in 3 weeks. So, there we see that erected small town. Now, this makes sense that they would have this defensive because the Suez is a big port. Even nowadays, I mean, we had the Greensburg or whatever, that big ship that ran aground, and it messed up trade everywhere. So back then, that would have been an important thing to keep a hold of. But yeah, we'll do. Well, this is one big page, so we'll do this one, and then that'll be the end of this video. The Altmark. Oh, whoops, it's not focusing. Give me a second. The Altmark incident. HMS Cossack to the rescue. And that's February 17th, 1940. It says, Graf Spree aftermath. During the early days of February, the German tanker Altmark, which has acted as a supply ship to the ill-fated Graf Spree, was nearing the end of her perilous return voyage to the British Admiralty. Yeah, decided that... Wait, whoops. That was wrong. To Germany. On board, she had 300 British seamen who had been captured from ships sunk by the Graf Spree. The British Admiralty decided that these men should be rescued and ordered to the destroyer Cossack under command of Captain Vian to intercept the German ship. With the aid of aerial reconnaissance, she was located and her position radioed to the Cossack, which intercepted her on the night of February 17th as she was steaming down the Norwegian coast. When the Altmark saw the British destroyer, she sought shelter in Josing Fjord. Disregarding the fact that she was in Norwegian territorial waters, the Cossack followed her in, ran alongside, and her crew boarded the tanker. In the ensuing hand-to-hand fight, 7 of the German crew were killed, but the British sailors were released. They had been held under hatches and had suffered terribly for several weeks. The captain of the Altmark had a fanatical hatred of everything English, and his prisoners had suffered in consequence. The reconstruction of the 2 pages, especially drawn by Edgar Thurston, show the British boarding the Altmark to meet the German sailors and to end the Altmark's short-lived career as a prison ship of the No-No Germans. This is a painting, but it's a really well-done one. It almost looks like, you could tell it's a painting, but it's really done well. And I'm assuming that says Altmark, so that's the Altmark. And this is the, which ship was that? The Cossack. It's right up there, the HMS Cossack. This is the Cossack, that's the Altmark. He had the Altmark there. Why didn't he, just like, hey, this is this. But, yeah, interesting. All right, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, like and subscribe to the video. Or just subscribe to me, not to the video. If you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one.